on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer. God said, I need somebody willing to get up before dawn, milk cows, work all day in the fields, milk cows again, eat supper, then go to town and stay past midnight at a meeting of the school board. So God made a farmer.
This speech by radio personality Paul Harvey in 1978 at a Future Farmers of America convention became famous decades later during the Super Bowl as a Dodge truck advertisement. What most people don't know is that this speech was written about Maurice and Rosalys Weiler. At least it should have been, according to their first son, John. The work ethic passed on to this family of 9 children, as well as their ability to remain important in the community, their church, and in their chosen industry, is what legacy is all about. Stevens County is the fortunate location of their industrious lives. Rosalys Murphy was of Irish descent, daughter of William and Mary Dewan Murphy of Horton Township. She was born Rosalys Murphy on December 14, 1925. As a child, she learned the hard work of chores both inside and outside, but also the enjoyments of playing. She was especially fond of her dolls, and all that pretending paid off later in life with real children. She also showed particular care with the chickens. This skill would serve her well in her adult life as well. District 41 in Horton Township was where she attended school through 8th grade. Interested in continuing education, she then went to St. Mary's High School in Maurice, a parochial Catholic school. As her home was 15 miles away, she stayed in town with families and worked for room and board. Usually, she took care of the children, another skill and talent that served her well later. While attending St. Mary's, she met upperclassman Maurice Weiler. Maurice was the son of John and Barbara Weiler. He was born in Fromness Township on December 26, 1923. He lived more than 74 years in this township. Maurice grew up during the Dust Bowl years and walked to country school District 8, 1 mile from his home. One day, he was caught in a dust storm so severe he had to hang onto the fence posts and wires to guide himself home. These years of depression and drought impacted him greatly, and he always worried it would occur again while farming. By 9th grade, he entered St. Mary's High School in Maurice. The graduating class of 1941 had a talented basketball team, and Maurice was a player. They advanced to the state tournament in their senior years. All that upperclassman charisma and basketball fame captured the heart of Rosalys, and the two began dating. Typical in the era, dating destinations were movies, ball games, dancing at the Glenwood Lakeside Ballroom, and Perkins Resort near Maurice on the Pomme de Terre chain of lakes and river. The community engaged in activities there year-round. In the summer, there was the water fun and huge water slide. Year-round, the hall hosted dancing and roller skating. Rosalys Murphy and Maurice Weiler were married in a morning ceremony on September 24, 1946, at the Assumption Catholic Church, where they had been members. The beautiful autumn wedding included dinner at the farm and a wedding cake made by Maurice's mother. They quickly set up household in 2 upstairs rooms of Maurice's parents' farm home, cooking on a hot plate for their first half year of marriage. The Weilers started farming in 1947 and moved to their own home on that farm. Their first 200 acres were diversified with corn, oats, wheat, barley, and flax. They milked cows, fed pigs, and had chickens and ducks. The first tractor was a farmall, and the first baby was a boy. John arrived September 10, 1947. 1 year to the date, Greg was born September 10, 1948. The final count of this family was 9 children. The family referred to them as the 3 boys, John, Greg, and Maurice, and then the 3 girls, Barbara, Marcella, and Rose, and then the 3 little guys, Jim, Julie, and Dan. After a hard day of work, one of the little guys claims that they were definitely the most helpful, as they described their end-of-day activities. Dad would sit in his big chair, one of us would brush his mostly bald head with the football brush, the other two would take off his boots and socks and then run the socks between his toes to clean out the footsie lint. For those who didn't grow up in a large family, it stretches the imagination to wonder, how does it all go around? You have to share everything: food, clothing, space, bathrooms, and time with parents. But you also share the chores and the work, share the joys and the sorrows, share the memories, and share the life. There were always large extended family Christmas gatherings, still celebrated as Christmas in the barn. Maurice loved Christmas, and he played the part very well. Sundays in particular became what the family referred to as Take It Easier Day. After early Mass, the chores were completed, a huge chicken dinner was consumed, and then, depending on the season, the games began. Baseball and softball games, ping pong, sledding, playing cards, listening to the New Ulm radio station and the polka music, and eating popcorn. Lots and lots of popcorn. Maurice was known for his card-playing ability, and over the years he collected 200 decks of cards from different places. He also enjoyed polkas and waltzes, and himself played the accordion and harmonica. The Catholic faith was the foundation for them as a couple and as a family. Each of the children attended St. Mary's parochial school, first driven each day by the parents, and in later years there was shared busing. They all graduated from the Maurice High School, as the Catholic school first stopped at a 9th grade education in the 1960s, and then later proceeded only through 6th grade. Both Maurice and Rosalys were active in the church. She was the epitome of the church basement lady, serving funerals, church dinners, and weddings. She belonged to the Guild, the Daughters of Isabella, and founded the St. Michael's Mission Group, which worked on providing daily necessities for those less fortunate. Maurice was a church usher, sang in the choir, and was a 50-year member of the Knights of Columbus. The Knights is the world's largest fraternal service organization, with 1.8 million members. It was founded in 1881 by Irish Catholic priest Michael McGivney. The organization is dedicated to the principles of charity, unity, fraternity, and patriotism. Globally famous Knights include baseball great Babe Ruth and the 35th President of the United States, John F. Kennedy. Both Maurice and Rosalys were thrilled when he was elected as the first Catholic president. They were equally devastated when he was assassinated. Rosalys is honored and commended by her family as the center of gravity for all of them. A skilled homemaker, baker extraordinaire, feeder of the multitudes, gardener, barber, and beautician and writer who journaled daily, in the neighborhood she became known as the Egg Lady. Everyone for several miles around the Weiler farm came to get fresh farm eggs from Rosalys, and a friendly visit as a plus. Maurice was a successful farmer. Building his acreage as it became available, his 200 acres grew to 900 at the time of his retirement. He held numerous leadership roles in the community. He served on the Fromness Township Board, the St. Mary's School Board, and the Maurice Public School Board. Both he and Rosalys were leaders in the Pep and Progress 4-H Club, where the children were youth members. The Stevens County Fair was always a late summer adventure looked forward to as an opportunity to socialize and show off the hog herd through the 4-H project. Maurice held a long-time interest in aviation. He tried several times to enter World War II as a pilot and was unsuccessful as the government wanted him as a farm producer for the American efforts. He remained interested in flying and would point out planes as they flew over the fields while farming. One son, Maurice, caught up this interest from his father and became a pilot, first as a Navy pilot for 22 years and then for Delta Airlines for 26. sometimes you can enjoy your own unrealized interests through the next generation. The Weilers were also very pleased that all of their children, after graduating from high school, pursued a secondary education of their choice. Some are farming, others have chosen different career paths. All were encouraged to dream their own dreams and search for their own opportunities. The growing up Weiler clan holds strong beliefs in the good work ethic and skills taught by their parents. Together they were an excellent team, married and role modeling for over 50 years. They worked hard, played hard, and worshipped faithfully. Their do-it-together philosophy provided the necessities of life as well as community recognition. In 1972, they were named the Farm Family of the Year, an honor by the Maurice Chamber of Commerce. In 1991, the Conservation Farm Family. The couple retired from farming and moved to town in 1997, a year after celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. They traveled, enjoyed family times, and continued games of checkers and spending good times with children. 27 grandchildren and 29 great-grandchildren. One might wonder how many Long John donuts, fried potatoes, and dinners these hands made. How many ears of corn were husked, how many weeds were pulled, and how many babies diapered and cuddled. One might wonder how many machines were repaired, how many newborn pigs given shots, how many cows milked, how many miles driven in the field, how many service hours given. But no one will wonder how these hands made a good life for a brood of 9 children. No one will wonder how they role modeled to the next generation, and to the next, that working hard and sticking together will bless your life in many ways. You'll always have each other, and no matter what else happens, the sun will always come up the next day. As the sign on the kitchen wall of the Weiler home read, "If you are lucky enough to live on a farm, then you are lucky enough."
I'm only human. I'm just a man. Help me believe in what I could be and all that I am. Show me the stairway I have to climb. Lord, for my sake, teach me to take one day at a time. One day at a time, sweet Jesus. That's all I'm asking from you. Just give me the strength to do every day what I have to do. Yesterday's gone, sweet Jesus, and tomorrow may never be mine. Lord, help me today, show me the way, one day at a time. Do you remember when you walked among men? Well, Jesus, you know, if you're looking below, it's worse now than then. They're pushing and shoving and crowding my mind. So for my sake, teach me to take one day at a time. One day at a time, sweet Jesus. That's all I'm asking from you. Just give me the strength